Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is No Dust here with some more budget Shaman ladder climbing. No epics, legendaries, or adventure cards. So let's hop into the client. We're at rank 14, 1 star. Let's see how we go this time. Okay, Hunter, yep. We'll just keep the knife juggler to draw some fire. Now, the month of February is coming to an end fairly soon, within about a week, I think. Yeah, I think it's exactly a week at time of recording. It's 22nd of February here where I am. And well, I've been thinking what I should be doing next month in terms of whether I should do a budget series, because the feeling is that there's going to be a Blizzard announcement early March, around the 9th or 10th of March. But then again, things may change, plans may change. On a very basic level, I'm probably going to... Ooh, this is going to be bad. Oh, that's really bad. Okay, we may have just lost. Those double juggles may have just ended my game. Although... the heal, yeah. It's better to play the heal now because I want to try Juggler Totem next turn. Or perhaps Argus next turn. Juggler Totem gives me a better chance to clear the nonsense. But those two lucky juggles, I think that's just ended our game. I get the feeling it's going to go all face, and we aren't going to be able to come back from that. But you know, these things happen against particularly face hunter. You get the turn 1. I didn't have an answer to the turn 1 juggler. We can go... Oh no, yeah, we can go juggle Crusader. And I think juggle Crusader is better. It's faster than Thunder Bluff. Okay. There we go. So hit one of the good targets. Not great to lose the 2 health now, but I was going to lose it sooner or later. So that was a pretty good outcome, and it sets us up for Totem Argus. Okay, you're playing Mad Scientists. I guess Mad Scientists do fit in a face list just because of how much value they provide. Anyway, yep, we're going to Totem Argus, and we've held off. We've held off for now. It's likely that Scientist is going to run into my Crusader and proc an explosive for him. The question is, do I get rid of the explosive now, or do I... I don't think there's... No, now I can't get rid of the explosive. Iron Beak. Interesting. Could it be freezing? I don't think we actually have any outs here. Oh no, we can Thunder Bluff Totem to clear Misha. Okay.
There is a lot at stake.
Now, if either of these gets, I think I want this to be frozen if it is Freezing Trap. Although it's very unlikely it's going to be Freezing Trap, given that it's a face hunter with Arcane Golems. Anyway, yeah. So better for the Argus to be frozen if it was, but it wasn't, and we're pretty much dead. I mean, if there's a skill command in hand, it's done. Just that really big double juggle onto my juggler. These things happen. Fire Alley. I think I have to hope for a Taunt Totem. And I can't attack. I can't attack right now. If I can't attack right now, do we even play the Fire Alley? Do I hope for a Hex? Or some sort of healing? Okay, the Lightning Storm does work, actually. Yeah, we'll do the full board clear with the Lightning Storm. This might give us a chance. I can't attack in right now. I need to find the healing. I need to find the Antique Heal bot. Otherwise, I'm just dead straight up to Quick Shot or Skill Command. I'm still dead to Quick Shot or Skill Command, actually. But, it's hard to say. It's very... Yeah, there we are. There's the Skill Command. Wasn't going to happen. I think from that very first turn... When the juggled knives went to my knife juggler, that was pretty much it. And you really need to keep up with a hunter list like that. If we'd had the Wild Pyros in hand, we would have done much better. But pretty uneventful. I mean, that's how if you get that sort of RNG in the early game, there's not much you can do to come back. All right, game 2. Okay, versus Warlock. I don't think the Crackle's too useful against Zoo. Abusive gives me board position. I don't mind if the thing is it's weak against handlock. That's alright. I think I need to get some board position either way. So I think my preliminary plans for next month are probably going to be playing some BudgetRogue. And if Standard happens to get announced and happens to be introduced midway through the season, then that's fine. We'll switch to the Standard later, and it'll make for an interesting change. Yeah, I do kind of miss playing BudgetRogue because, well, Shaman's not a class that I typically play a lot of, and while it's fun, it's just not a huge fan. Is this worth a hex? Is this worth a hex? You're playing a discard coin hex. What am I doing on turn 3 if I hex this thing? Do we just take the 4? If I coin hex, my turn 3 is really, really weak. I think we need to set up for coins engine, which means we totem now. Okay. Okay, spell power is going to be useful actually against if we manage to pick up a lightning storm. Even if we manage to pick up a pyro, the coin is going to be very useful to clear that blood imp. You're spending a dark bomb and an abusive? That's a little overkill in my opinion. Okay, very defensive. Now that's a big succubus. We coin out this engine. And you're very low in cards. That's the one good thing, because the succubus put my warlock opponent very far behind. And you're going to have to tap, which means like having to tap this early is a little bit deleterious to the warlock's momentum. You don't often really want to tap until maybe about turn 6. Implosion. This is gonna hurt. Oh no, it didn't hurt that much. Okay, now we really do want a lightning storm. Or a pyro. Silence. Is there anything I want to silence? No, I don't think so. I think I just distract him with the knife juggler. Yeah, knife juggler totem. It's not great, but there were only 2 great targets: the blood imp and the vanilla imp. Hey, moves. That's pretty cool. A little bit of a head bobbing. But there's a okay. It's like a discard warlock. Interesting. Interesting. Still not a ton of pressure. I mean, I'm taking a reasonable amount of damage. Okay, Maiden Totem. Maiden Totem. Maiden Totem, I think it works fine. And it gives me more health on the board, actually. Yeah. And it gives me a chance to roll for Taunt Totem. This is actually pretty good, the Searing. It's going to have to be dealt with. But we may have too slow a deck to be able to deal with this discard warlock. Yeah. Just sort of missing out against these aggro decks, missing out on my lightning storms and my pyros. And it's not really even the lightning storms that I want, it's the pyros that I want. And that may cost us the game, but you know, them's the breaks. So yeah, if Standard ends up coming out in the middle of March, then I'll just be switching over and playing Standard BudgetRogue, and then we're going to see how we go. Be very interesting actually to think about what sort of things I'm going to have to replace. I mean, at least one shredder. I know we have shredders in that rogue. The oil is going to have to come out. Well, you're very, very vulnerable to a pyro, and that's like, I think that's like my only out. Okay, Argus works also. I think it's too slow. I think I have to hex the Tiny Knight of Evil. Yeah. Just to keep me alive. Just having too many late game draws. The Thunderbluff, the Drake, not doing anything for me this game. The Argus also a little slow, really. You want at least 1 minion for a turn 6 Argus. Just a totem on the just Argusing a totem, I don't think it's fast enough. Okay. If we see any more of this Zooish type list, then we will need. I might think about the double lightning storm, but I still think we're okay. I still think it's just a bit of RNG in this session. Okay, you're playing very defensively for a zoo type list. Yeah, and I had to spend the hex, so the only real out is the lightning storm, and we didn't draw it, and I can't draw into it with we have to go knife juggler Argus. Oh, that was pretty good. I think we can still survive. Yeah, we can survive. As long as there's no dark bomb in hand, we can survive until the next turn. And that gives me a chance to go Drake Lightning Storm. So we've got 2 draws. I mean, assuming he clears and then there's no Doomguard or anything. But I think it's quite awkward to clear against a board like mine. The Argus has actually given me... It's really stabilized my board, but my health total is pretty poor. And seeing that you've already got Soulfires and Dark Bombs in there, I wouldn't be surprised if you can just burst me out from nowhere. Now actually, if he clears his own board, we may not even want the Lightning Storm, we might want something else. Okay, Jeeves, interesting. Interesting. Okay, clear. I think the Lightning Storm is still relevant. I think I'm going to have to silence the Tiny Knight. The Sunwalker helps though. The Sunwalker does help. Actually, I think we need to go defensive with the Sunwalker. Silencing the Tiny Knight... I mean, he doesn't have Burst in hand. He may well have Burst in hand now, but either line of play won't make too much of a difference. I think we just need to try and stabilize with the Sunwalker. And Sunwalker can test this board very, very nicely as well. I guess what we die to is maybe like a Siphon or trade in anything. If anything, buffing the Tiny Knight as well would work. Interesting list. I like it when we face lists like this. At least it's not, you know, just vanilla nonsense, vanilla net decked nonsense. Slower deck. Okay, there's the Doomguard. I think you could have... Yeah, I think we're done. Yeah. The double Doomguard discard buffing the Knight of Evil. That ends with... That counts as burn. The Doomguard counts as burn if you have the Knight of Evil on the board. And yeah, that's fine. I didn't really expect to stay at rank 14 for too long. I think we got really lucky with the win streaking last session. Okay, let's go next game. Okay, another Warlock. It's not the same player, I don't think. No, last time we played Matt. I think this is an okay hand. The Senjin acts as a soft board clear on turn 4 if we fall that far behind. I think that's okay, because we can... yeah, I think this works against the zoo list. And I think we're most vulnerable to a zoo list. I think we have more of a chance against a handlock. Now this may actually indicate handlock. Or Reno lock, actually. Now, if you're Reno lock, do I care about? I think we still want to hang on to the Wild Pyro coin against even a Reno lock, and I think some hand locks play Implosion. So I do want to hang on to the 1 damage board clear option. It does slow down my turn quite significantly, but this is okay because I can use Wild Pyro coin to clear the damage zombie chow if the zombie chow clears my loot holder, and that acts as a handy heal as well. Okay, yeah, this is a hand lock, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you're tapping for those giants. We're gonna need hexes. Different type of game plan this time around. I think I can coin out the shredder. You've already spent 1 mortal coil, so it's unlikely you'll have a second mortal coil, but then again, you know, mortal coil gives you a higher chance of drawing into a second mortal coil. So we'll just have to see what happens. Implosion, there it is. But I spent the coin, so that's my bad. That's pretty good though. So for once, some good RNG. And we will protect with the Senjin. Yeah, we will protect with the Senjin, which means I can sneak in 4 damage. Got to be careful again about those lava giants. Magma giants? So there's mountain giants. That's interesting. That was a really good Shredder pickup, I guess. You're playing Demon Rat. So Demon Handlock? I'm not quite sure what is going on. Yes, I know. I know. Now we've got the Hex. The Hex Pyro is going to be very, very good. I think I can afford to develop the Thunder Bluff. I don't really need the cards from the Drake at the moment. We have a good number of players heading into 6, 7, 8. So I'm not going to need it until probably close to turn 9, 10. So we're looking pretty strong. I think the Shredder into Succubus probably, if we win this game, it's most likely Shredder into Succubus that did the work for us. Okay. Are there Magma Giants? I think that I just Sunwalker up and go face, because the Shredder does nothing against Sunwalker. You're gonna need a Siphon Soul, and that takes up your entire turn. We may be able to... Okay, the heal bot is fine. We may... Hey, how much do we have? We've got... Okay, interesting. That's a good one. We've got 11. 11. Hold on. 11. Plus we're not quite enough. The danger is if I ever extend into, say, a Shadow Flame. So how much have we got? We got 11. I can add 3, or I can add 3 either way. I think actually it's worth adding 3 with the Stormwindchamp. Yeah. Because it's a slower play. Okay. So we've got 14. Not quite enough. Let's push this way. Allows me to apply more damage to face. Gives me a better chance of finishing off with Fire Elemental. Although there is oh, there's the Nether. Okay, that's okay. That's not too bad. You can go knife. How many? Hold on. Knife, Pyro Totem. I think that's enough. Knife is 1 knife. Pyro Totem is 2, 4. Yeah, that's just enough. That Twisting Nether, yeah, you killed yourself by clearing the board, yeah. Pyro Totem will end the game, yeah. Wow, that's some burst. If you have knife, Pyro Totem, that's quite a lot of burst. And that's one of the sneaky things you can do with this Shaman list, I guess. Got pretty lucky there. Really, the Succubus out of the Shredder is really what won us the game. Okay, next game. Okay, very happy to see the Clockwork. Very good for baiting out. I've probably said this before. Very good for baiting out the War Axe. And here we go. So we have a turn 2. This actually gives me intel as to whether I should develop the Knife Juggler or Totem Up, because you don't want to just feed Knife Juggler to the War Axe. Okay, you're coining out. Yep, there's the War Axe. So we're going to Totem Up. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, I'm sensing another... it's hard to say from this, but I'm guessing it's Patron. We get a very neat clear with the Horse Rider. It's just, the problem is we have a slow turn 2, but that's okay. I don't think he's gonna have any taunts to set up on turn 2 or anything like that. Okay, and just armor. That's quite slow. And then I can juggle Totem. Or we do have the Ooze. The Ooze is actually, if I'm assuming this is Patron, I'm gonna need to save the Ooze to. Okay, it feels like this is Fatigue. Then you don't run bash. Okay, then we're gonna juggle. We're gonna do some juggling. You probably do still have weapons in here, but if you have I don't think bash belongs in a Patron warrior unless I'm not keeping up with the meta, but maybe I'm not keeping up with the meta. Rank 14, maybe there's not much to the meta. There's the Despite, so we will be oozing that. And you know what? I may actually ooze Time Rewinder. Yeah, ooze Totem Time Rewinder. Okay, ooze. Or is it worth... No, The thing is, if I time rewinder the Ooze, I don't get to apply the 3 damage next turn. Let's hold it for now, because it's not super imperative that I time rewind it now. And the good thing is, if he did have patrons in there, we denied the AoE activation of the patrons. Okay, this is fine. Do we Argus? Yeah, I think we Argus. Argus Totem, yep. Let's totem up and see what we get first. Okay, do I want to buff the Searing to put it out of Whirlwind range? Becomes a 2/2. I lose 1 damage. I think it's okay. I think it's a reasonable play to put it out of Whirlwind range. You might even have something like Revenge. And plus, we may want to protect this thing as well, the Wrath of Air, for you know, Crackle shenanigans. And we have a ton of damage on the board actually. Next turn, I can Thunder Bluff plus Totem Up gives me 6 bonus damage on the board. Which is ridiculous. Probably calls for a Brawl if you don't already have the Brawl. Okay, Slam what? Slam AoE? Okay, Slam Cruel Task. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we're still going to do the Thunder Bluff play, because the Brawl will be essentially just killing 1 minion. Okay, and then we have the Taunts. I think I'd trade this off. Yeah, gives me a better outcomes for the Brawl. Anything that, whatever comes out of this Brawl, still very high value. I'm assuming there is a Brawl in hand. There may well be, there may not be. It's hard to say. If I was the Warrior, I'd probably looking for Brawl War Axe. Okay, Shield Slam. Okay, Armor Up, Shield Slam. That's fine. The Thunder Bluff Valiant has actually already done a ton of work. Okay, that's a very expensive Shield Slam. And the thing is, the good thing about the Valiant is the value goes onto the totems and not so much onto the Valiant himself. Okay. We'll develop Loot Hoarder because my hand is looking a little too reactive at the moment. I would really like to either A, bait out the Brawl, or B, being able to push out with, say, some Fire Element. No, not Fire, maybe withdrawal. Push out with a withdrawal would be very, very useful. What? Ooh, that's a little unlucky with the bomb lobby. Okay. Okay, that's also fine. Lightning bolts. Yeah, I think it's worth spending the lightning bolt. And I'm still not going to develop anything. There may have been cause to develop the Spellbreaker. I think it's just too. I think it's okay right now. I'm still waiting for some big board clears from the Warrior. I don't know why you're not. I mean, either he doesn't have it in his list. I don't know why you would run a Bomb Lobber actually, because you may as well run something like a Reaper. Okay. Is this worth a Hex? No, we got a Spellbreaker. Okay. I think I Shredder and then Spellbreaker the Acolyte, and then we just leave it up. Okay. We do have Hex to deal with whatever comes next. This is still a very dangerous board. And we have... there's a fair amount of damage as well. So we're looking for the Brawl. Leaving the Acolyte up actually makes his Brawl a little more powerful. Okay, Slam, Execute, Brawl. He's really cycling. Okay, so it is probably Patron from the looks of the Inner Rage. Ooh, this is nice. The Wrath Guard. We may actually be able to seal out the game. Yep. Yeah, I just don't quite know what you were doing with that list. I don't know what your plans were. Whether it was Patrons or... But I think if it was Patrons, that Ooze on the Death Spite really set him really far behind. But it's... Again, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Sometimes it just seems like my opponent didn't do very much, and we somehow won the game. Okay, let's do one more game. It's been a pretty short session. Short games, that is, in this session. Okay. Okay, the question is, do I want to throw the Swamp Ooze back? I think Swamp Ooze is fine to so that I can play Juggler on turn 3. There's nothing that you really want to silence from a Druid. You know, the thing that they play early on, that has spell text is the aspirant, and you don't want to silence an aspirant because the death rattle is what takes away that that mana crystal. So better to draw that silence against something like an Ancient of War. Okay, and the Pyro, I think we just push out with the Ooze. It's not going to do much for us in this matchup unless you run Blingtron. And I did recently open a Blink, well, maybe not recently, but I did open a Blingtron on one of my other accounts. That's not budget, and it's a fun card. Okay, Grove Tender. Really, we get a very neat clear with the Argus. Actually, is it worth doing? You ramped both of our mana. I think it's worth. Yeah, because you're on 4 mana. You didn't have a turn 2 play because you Grove Tended. So for you to shapeshift and then, like, you might have drawn a turn 2 play. Okay, there's the Wrath, so that's okay. But you still need to deal with the 4/1 Ooze. And spending the Wrath, I think I would have shapeshifted, honestly, because it's not like you need the cards right now. But you never know. I don't know what his hand looks like, so it's hard for me to judge, obviously. But, okay. Pyro Hex. I think I saved the Pyro Hex combo. We push out with Juggler Totem, yeah. If you're ramping, you've probably got some big scary minions in there, such as Sylvanas, Ancient of War. And so Pyro Hex will do a lot of work against those. Although against Sylvanas, my Pyro will still get stolen. Okay. Fire Alley? Yeah, Fire Alley. There are bigger minions in here for me to clear. There are bigger fish to fry, that is, and I don't want to spend a Pyro Hex. Ooh, that was really good because it saves me 1 health on my Knife Juggler, which means that it's out of swipe range. So very lucky there. And we've got a big scary board. I think very much thanks to his Grove Tending. Yeah, the thing with Grove Tender is that... Okay, there it is. The thing with Grove Tender is that you gain that empty mana crystal straight away, which means that it's more advantageous to Grove Tender and then use that mana crystal at the same turn. If you just Grove Tender for nothing, I feel it's a little weak. Okay, what should I do? We can try for the Lucky Juggle, actually, and then I can send in the Knife Juggler. Okay, let's try for the Lucky Juggle. Druids have trouble clearing the board. Okay, good. Let's do this. Yeah, Druids have trouble clearing big minions from the board. The issue is I could have actually considered using the Fire Elemental because it's very susceptible to BGH. Yeah, that's... I probably actually should have taken the Fire Elemental out of... So that's one thing that I do need to note. When playing withdrawal, be careful of pushing Fire Elementals into BGH range. So the logic behind using my Fire Elemental to trade is that if it gets BGH, at least I've spent a lot of the value. Okay, there's the Hex. And I think we won. Yeah, Pyro Hex gonna do a lot of work for us. And that's exactly the sort of thing that I want to Hex. Not the Sludge. Definitely not the Sludge. Pyro Hex on these big late game minions, so good. And actually probably a pretty good counter to late game Priest as well with things like Chill More. And yeah, we've actually made a little bit of progress. I'm pretty happy. I mean, we lost the first 2, but then the next 3 ended up pretty well. I could have probably played that turn better with being careful with the Stormwind and not pushing the Fire Ellie into BGH. But we got off scot-free there. But I think that next time I should take that into consideration, especially in the higher ranks. You probably have people with running BGH in their lists. Okay, I think oh, that's right, didn't record the win. I think that's where we'll leave things for today. So thanks in advance, guys, for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I do this for love. Any gestures of appreciation are much appreciated. So I hope you've been enjoying the Shaman ladder climb. I'm looking forward to actually finishing it off, see where we finish in February, and getting back to Rogue, because, you know, Rogue is my tried and true, and I just tend to have more fun playing Rogue. It's just, you know, when I boot up Hearthstone, it's like, oh, let's play some Rogue games. Always happy to see Rogue quests. Always happy just to play with the Rogue class. Although Shaman is pretty good as well. Anyway, so I hope you guys had a lovely day and a lovely weekend. I will be back with some more budget Shaman laddering in the near future. Until then, this is No Dust signing off.